It is my pleasure to welcome you to this brand new video. We appreciate you taking the time to watch our channel. If you subscribe, you will receive free support and will be kept up to speed on our latest releases. The issue that we will be discussing today is highly devotional, and it is intrinsically tied to the expression of faith among all believers who are actively practicing their faith. It is a phenomenon that is both fascinating and strange, and it is related to the power of the cross symbol paired with water, which appears to have the ability to accomplish miracles. Since the beginning of the 21st century, physicist Angelina Malikovskaya and her team in St. Petersburg have been doing extensive research on the relationship that exists between the sign of the cross and water. Over the course of their investigation, they investigated the deep significance of the cross symbol and its possible influence on the purification of water and the health of humans. The findings of the research conducted by Dr. Malikovskaya indicate that this ancient gesture not only possesses a profound mystical value, but also provides a surprise practical benefit. An instantaneous purification appears to take place whenever the sign of the cross is made over food or drinks before to the consumption of such items. It is a miracle that occurs every day right in front of our eyes, and it is sometimes unnoticed. Something as seemingly insignificant as making the sign of the cross with one's fingers touching the forehead, the middle of the chest, the solar plexus, and the shoulders has a surprising impact on what is to come. The water itself, or the water that is contained in foods, can gain specific bactericidal characteristics after being sanctified by prayer and the sign of the cross, according to studies that have been conducted. For the purpose of determining whether or not prayer and the sign of the cross had an effect on pathogenic germs like Escherichia coli and Staphylococcus aureus, samples of water were collected from a variety of sources, including wells, rivers, and lakes. When the Our Father was chanted over the food samples and the sign of the cross was made over them, the results were extraordinary. The number of harmful germs was substantially reduced, sometimes by 1,000-fold that of the original sample. What is even more remarkable is the fact that the good effects appear to be not restricted to the purification of water alone. After utilizing the sign of the cross, human indications such as blood pressure and blood tests show remarkable improvement. This is due to the fact that the human body is comprised of 75% water. The fact that the changes in these indicators are going in the direction that is required for obvious physical improvements or healing is even more amazing. People who have low blood pressure, also known as hypotension, experience a rise in their blood pressure, whereas those who have high blood pressure, also known as hypertension, experience a reduction in their blood pressure. Having faith and being precise when completing the sign of the cross appears to be vital for achieving favorable outcomes, which is an important component to take into consideration. In the event that the gesture is carried out in a careless or disrespectful manner, the beneficial effect is either greatly diminished or altogether absent. One of the most exciting features of this research is the measuring of the optical density of water both before and after the sign of the cross was applied to it. This effect is maintained in the form of higher optical density, which indicates that the results indicate that the optical density grows in comparison to the starting value. This suggests that water appears to store the meaning of the prayers that are recited over it, so that it can continue to have this effect. Despite the fact that the human eye is incapable of perceiving these alterations in the structure of the water, scientific instruments are able to generate an objective assessment of this occurrence. Furthermore, it appears that the degree of blessing has an effect on the water. The water is able to distinguish between a sign of the cross made by a layperson and one made by a priest. By exhibiting a substantially larger rise in optical density, water that has been blessed by a priest demonstrates that it is capable of recognizing the degree of blessing that it has received. The fact that water responds to people's religion, regardless of their religious membership, is a remarkable phenomenon. This is another fascinating feature of the relationship between faith and water. In the process of baptism, even those who do not believe in God receive a good influence, albeit to a smaller amount than those who do believe. The cultural and religious significance of water can be seen in many regions of the world, as evidenced by the fact that sacred locations such as Lourdes in France and the Ganges River in India are related to healings and miracles that are associated with water. Having said that, it is of the utmost importance to underline that despite these fascinating discoveries and stories of healing, the scientific community is still conducting in-depth research on these phenomena. It is necessary to do additional research and verify the findings in order to validate these findings and ascertain the specific scientific explanations that underlie these impacts. It is a fascinating field of study that challenges our existing understanding of the relationship between science and faith. The relationship between the sign of the cross, water, and miracles is a representation of this interaction. There are several different perspectives that can be taken into consideration while analyzing the connection between miracles and water. These include scientific, theological, and symbolic viewpoints. In terms of both symbolism and religion, water is seen as a sacred substance because of its association with the processes of purification and rebirth. For the purpose of symbolizing the rebirth of the Spirit, it is utilized in rites such as baptism. The Jewish tradition recounts the miracle of the parting of the Red Sea, while the Christian history recounts the healing miracles of Jesus. These are only two examples of the many religious traditions that narrate water-related miracles. From a scientific point of view, there are certain theories that can rationalize events that give the impression of being miraculous that are associated with water. These include optical and refraction effects. It is possible for water to produce optical illusions due to its one-of-a-kind physical features. On the other hand, the meaning of a miracle is frequently contingent upon the beliefs of the individual. When seen from a religious point of view, the presence of water and a large number of people in miracle accounts can be interpreted as an element that is beneficial to healing through the utilization of collective energy. When viewed from a rational standpoint, this has the potential to impact how an event is seen, causing many individuals to make the interpretation that it was miraculous. These discoveries are similar to those made by other researchers and phenomena that are associated with water. For example, the theories on the memory of water that were developed by the Japanese scientist Masaru Emoto investigated the connection between words, sounds, and music and the crystalline structure of water. Experiments were carried out by Professor Emoto in which he froze samples of water at extremely low temperatures after the samples had been subjected to a variety of stimuli, such as written words, music, or prayers. As a consequence of this, he took photographs of the ice crystals that had formed in order to demonstrate their constituent parts. When water was subjected to pleasant thoughts, kind words, or loving intentions, it made beautiful and harmonious ice crystals. On the other hand, when water was subjected to negative ideas or offensive remarks, it generated crystals that were highly deformed and disharmonious. A considerable number of concerns remain unsolved as a result of the research conducted by Masaru Emoto on the memory of water and changes in water crystallization. This discovery has triggered important scientific disputes all around the world. Faith and the Catholic Church contribute to the belief that certain locations, such as Lourdes in France and the Ganges River in India, are associated with healings and miracles that transpire in relation to water use. These assertions, on the other hand, have not been proven by scientific research and may differ from person to person. It is generally accepted that miracles and healings that involve water pose a challenge to objective scientific answers. Despite the fact that science is working to comprehend them, it is essential to show respect for the individual experiences of individuals, taking into account the complexities of human health and the part that faith plays in understanding such occurrences. Please share your thoughts on the matter in the comments section below, and I would want to express my gratitude for watching the movie up to this point. If you would, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure the notification bell is turned on. Please accept our sincere gratitude, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.